Jungkook gripped his gun tightly in his hand, which was almost shaking due to his anger. The man in front of him stopped breathing and was dead at this point, taking all the information with him, which he can't find out anymore. He threw the gun away against the mirror, which broke into pieces, and groaned out of frustration. He looked at the dead man again, then at his own clothes, which were filled with blood. It went useless again. He was too near to getting his hands on the information he was looking for since a long time. Walking out of the basement, he walked to his own room, his pace slowing down as he reached the doorknob, very softly opening it, not to disturb his wife. She was sitting in front of the dresser, trying to find something from the drawer. He looked at her back for a moment, then disappeared in the closet. He made sure he made no sound as he changed out of his blood filled clothes and washed his hands. When he came back, Vine was quick to notice his presence. She gasped and covered her mouth. Vine, Jungkook, is it you? You can't be here. She couldn't see. She was blind, but her other senses were really strong, especially her sense of smell and hearing. She could tell from far away the scent of her husband. She could recognize him easily, even in the middle of a huge crowd. She even knew his way of walking, the way he took steps, and they made the sound. Similarly, she could easily tell apart every person present in the home, such as a maid or a guard. So, when she's standing across a stranger, she would know easily that's someone she needs to be careful from. Jungkook, why I can't be here, my queen? Vine, because I'm not completely ready yet. She was panicking, yet there was such softness in her voice and actions which melted his heart. It seemed like she was doing her makeup. She could do it well. It took her a lot of time and practice to learn it, failing again and again and repeating the same process to finally reach the perfection. Perfect blended foundation, perfect wing liner, mascara, lipstick. She could do everything so perfectly. He smiled and walked up to her. He held her hands and she pouted. She really wanted to be completely ready before her husband arrived. Jungkook, then I'll help. He kissed her forehead and picked her up, putting her on the dressing table. Wine, that's cheating. I want you to get ready for you. She pinched his nose, only receiving a whole sum of kisses from him in return. Jungkook, okay, what do you want to wear? Wine, oh, that red dress you brought me last time. Jungkook, is it something special today? Wine, Yes, every day is special for having a handsome and loving husband. She was really innocent, a loving, kind, and caring person. She might have never seen him, but always praised how beautiful his features felt under her fingertips. Jungkook, and every day is special for having the most perfect wife, all to myself. She giggled, and he brought her dress, taking it out of the packing, and helped her wear it with his own hands. He was gentle with his movements. All of his stress about his work was gone. To say he didn't even remember any of it would be true. He was too lost in the moment, in his wife, whom he loved to the moon and back, to focus on anything else. Wine and I want that bun hairstyle the stylist made last time. Jungkook. But princess, the stylist is not here right now. Wine. My husband is. The tutorial is saved in my phone. She grinned and he blinked his eyes. He might have styled her hair in the past, but they were simple hairstyles, like braid or a ponytail, or maybe simply drying her hair. He didn't know he could make a high level bun, which required a lot of practice. Jungkook. Okay, well, anything for my queen. He turned on the tutorial, and God knew he didn't understand one simple thing: the amount of times he replayed every part and messed up with her hair. Vine had already noticed how he was repeating the same thing again and again with her hair, and she could tell he was having a hard time. She could even imagine all the funny faces he might be making, struggling with it. She laughed and enjoyed it all. His fingers provided such comfort, brushing through her hair every time. Jungkook, hey, it's not funny. This lady makes no sense. She wants me to go right, but goes round herself and then, ugh. Vine laughed more. Her laugh was so soft and cute. She was sure Jungkook had one annoyed expression on his face, but only if she could see how he was smiling, adoring her laugh. Jungkook, okay, I got it. You wait, huh? I can do it. Vine, waiting, my love. She made an amused expression and raised a fist to encourage him. It still took him a long time, an insane amount of complaints, and a lot of trials. When he was done, she touched her hair and cheered happily. Wine, it's the same like last time. Jungkook, oh well, your husband is amazing. Minus the 45 minutes he wasted, she turned towards him and held his shirt. Slowly pulling him down, she cupped his cheeks and kissed him. He held the nape of her neck and kissed her back, his fingers caressing her cheekbone and lips molding against her. There was no limit to how much he loved her. He sworn to protect her and her innocence forever. No one in his life was ever going to lay a wrong eye on her. Jungkook, you look so beautiful. he said once he pulled back. She caressed her fingers over his face, feeling him underneath her touch, and such peaceful expressions appeared on her face. Wine, and you are handsome, as always. Jungkook, that's why we make one sexy couple. She beamed happily, and Jungkook brought her heels. If she wanted to get ready for absolutely nothing, he was all in for it. Wine taught him. Happiness was not to be looked for. It was here, all the time, all around you. He knelt down, placing her foot over his thigh, and slid the heels in her feet. Wine. I asked for our favorite dishes in dinner too. Jungkook, such a perfect date. You're so good at it. Wine. And I have a gift for you as well. He slid the other heel in her foot as well and looked up at her. He never knew life could be this beautiful with just the presence of one person. When she stood up, she walked over to the closet and came back with a bucket of flowers, just like the one Jungkook bring her always. Jungkook, hey, is that for me? She nodded and gave it to him. He took it with so much love. Was he the kind of person who would fall for these things? Moreover, being happy enough to form tears in his eyes. It was almost crazy how every passing second his love for her only increased. Jungkook, that's too unfair, princess. I'm going to have a heart attack. Wyan, that's how I always feel. Now you know, the way you love and respect me. It makes me feel the luckiest. I wanted you to feel the same. He took her in his embrace and tucked one rose behind her ear, kissing her head. Jungkook, just looking at you makes me feel all those things. Thank you so much for this. The two settled over the table and had a meal, feeding each other in between. His eyes never moved off her as she talked about random things with so much excitement. After the dinner, they had a couple dance under the moonlight. It was them and their heavenly little world. No other person ever mattered as long as they were together.